contention is that a more even ratio of girls to boys in primary and secondary schools will cause their respective countries to be more economically productive, with economic productivity being measured in GDP per capita in exchange rate terms and also adjusted for inflation. First, we wanted to see if there was a positive correlation between the ratio of girls to boys in primary and secondary school and the age of first marriage for women. According to the graph, when the ratio of girls to boys in primary and secondary schools becomes more even, the age of first marriage will follow the same trajectory. Countries with different social and political environments still follow the same path, proving that this is a worldwide trend and not just limited to a small part of the globe. The pattern in the data shows us we can infer that when women are given the same educational opportunities as their male counterparts, they will be more able and willing to enter the workforce. Due to a woman's participation in the labor pool, they will tend to get married at a later age. Even though there was a correlation between these two variables, we wanted to make sure that the data was not distorted by a disproportion of males and females in the population. We then tested that out by viewing the ratio of girls to boys in school and the sex ratio of that country. The majority of countries began in close proximity to a 1-to-1 ratio for the gender population, while moving towards an even ratio of girls to boys in school. One of the biggest takeaways from that result is the sheer number of years the data shows us, as there are 30 years of relative data that will help us prove our point. Since the data proved to be beneficial to our argument, we then looked at the ratio of girls to boys in school versus GDP per capita in exchange rate terms and also adjusted for inflation. Over the 30 years in our data window, the ratio of genders in school approaches 1-to-1, and the countries for the most part see an increase in GDP per capita, which supports our claim. One of the most important facts that supports our idea is that countries in all different parts of the world follow that pattern. Take for instance countries such as India, Egypt, Turkey, and Mexico, starting in 1971 and ending in 2005. Although all in different continents, GDP rises as the ratio of girls to boys in school evens out. Botswana, starting in 1974, had a greater ratio of girls in school than boys, and it still follows the same pattern as the ratio evens out. Using all those same countries, we tested out the pattern that as GDP per capita rises, the age of first marriage for women increases. The positive linear pattern that these countries follow proves that there is a correlation between growth in GDP and the mean age of first marriage in women. In conclusion, when the ratio of girls to boys in school approaches 1-to-1, women tend to get married later, which makes the economy more productive.